Hi friends, welcome back to my session. And in this session, we are going to discuss about the software development lifecycle. How the software development lifecycle will going on. Everything we are going to discuss in detail in this session. Okay. Just please have a look on this diagram. So for for creating any software based on the requirement, first of all, there is a strategy required. Okay. So I will let you know in detailed manner. Just please have a look on this. Just first of all, if anyone wants to develop any application or software, so for anything, first of all, they need to understand the requirement. What is the requirement of client? So what he is actually looking for. So here the business associate will dealing with the client and have captured and had gathered all the requirements of the clients regarding the software implementation, what kind of software he is looking for, what kind of application he is looking for. Okay, once they had gathered the information, they are going to analysis. So what kind of analysis? So how we need to make this to be done based on the client requirement. Once the analysis has been completed, they will involve in designing. So how we are going to design the code. So once they have the perfect plan regarding the designing, they will make implementation of code. So they will write a code. Once they had gathered the equipment, they had made analysis on the code, they had a plan how to design the code. So once they have the everything, so they will make the code. Once the code has been ready, they are going to test that code, whether the code is working fine or not. Okay, once the testing has been successfully completed, okay, it will be deployed. Otherwise, if the testing has been any bugs, then it will get back to the developer to fix the bugs. Once the developer has fixed the bug, it will be moved towards again testing team. Again testing team will done the quality QA team, quality test team or testing team, both are same. They will test the code. If there is no bugs and the code is working perfectly fine, the code will be deployed on the infrastructure. Means the code has been deployed. So once the code has been once the software has been successfully running, it needs a proper support or maintenance. So whenever there is a queries, whenever there is a support required, at that time whoever that develops the code, they have the full pledge knowledge. So like that, support or maintenance is required for any kind of thing. Even if you purchase any product, then you are looking for support or maintenance. If in future if you have any kind of issue with your product, you are looking for support or not. Yes, if you find the support, if there is any maintenance required, you are requested the provider who has provided the product to you. Based on your request, he will provide the maintenance to you, like that. And one more thing, for techies, how the techies will be sorted. For developing any kind of software, we have majorly these things are required. First of all, developers who are develop the code. Mainly we have front-end developer and the back-end developer, the database administrator and the software architect who is design the code. These are the engineers who involved in the developing the things. And the further thing is, once the code has been developed by the developers, then the QA quality analyst, the QA team will come into the picture. They are going to test the code. They will try to check the code functionality, everything. If they find any bugs, they will report again to the developers. So and so bugs we had found. Just please have a look on this. So once the tester has find the code has been successfully worked, what he will do? He will inform to the DevOps engineer to deploy the code. The DevOps engineer, what he will do? He will deploy the code. So initially, before developing the code, who will involve? The business analyst. What is the purpose of business analyst? He is the person only gathering the information from the client regarding the client requirement. So based on the client requirement, because of client only paying the amount to the company who is developing the code. So the BA analyst will collect or capture the requirement from the client and he will based on that inputs, the developers develop the code, and once the developer has developed the code, the tester will test the code. Once the test has been successfully once the code has been successfully tested, it has been deployed by the DevOps engineer. And the purpose of using the DevOps is to automate the process. How that will be done, we will discuss in the further classes. And finally, the support is required for the software which has been developed. Okay, right. So in SDLC, for everything, if you want to develop, there is some life cycle is there. Okay, like that. In SDLC framework model, we have the different types of models are available to develop the software. So here in this, the first model is waterfall model. In the name itself suggests how the waterfall will be like that, from up to lower. In the similar way, in the waterfall model, if we want to go for the another step, the first step need to be completed, and after completing the previous step only we will go for the next model. But it has been a failure model because of some disadvantages, like without completing the current step, we will not be able to move to the next step. Until the first step has been completed, the person who is doing the second step will need to wait for the first step need to be completed. Here there is a lag is there. So that's why the waterfall model has been failed. Suppose if you want to see just waterfall model, simply you can search like here, then just click on images. Here you can see how the step-by-step process is there. Requirements: design, development, testing, deployment, maintenance. Here everything has a dependency. So that's why the waterfall model is not at all used right now. And along with the waterfall model, we have different type of methodologies are available. That is one of the spiral model, rapid application model, iterative and incremental model, and agile model, and prototype model. Every model has their respective advantages and disadvantages as well. So by comparing all those models, right now the agile methodology is one of the finest model which has been rapidly used by the companies right now to develop the software because of its advantages moreover than the other models, because of the work has been distributed among different teams. It will improve the process to develop the software. So that's why majority of the companies has been using agile model right now. In agile, most of the 95% of the companies are using the agile process right now. In agile methodology, we have the some terminologies are there. So first of all, we need to understand about that. What is sprint? Sprint is nothing but the time frame. So for every task, they will assign some set of time frame. So within the time frame only, he need to finish the task. Suppose if any engineer is there, that may be developer, that may be tester, that may be any other engineer, the sprint is there. So within the time frame, he need to finish that task. The time frame will be 2 to 4 weeks. Okay. Suppose if we take from May 15th to May 26th, that 10 working days are there. Even though if we have the 2 weeks of time, by leaving the 2 holidays for every week, means Saturday, Sunday is off for software now. So that's why for 2 weeks of time, we will consider only 10 working days. Okay, means 4 weeks of time means it's 20 working days. Sprint planning. First of all, for doing any work, we are going to planning. Means within how many days we will be able to complete this thing. Like that, we are going to sprint planning. And there is a meeting, Scrum meeting. Okay, Scrum meeting. Just please have a look on it. Scrum meeting. Right. So in the Scrum meeting means it's a daily stand-up call, or they are going to discuss what has been done, what is going on, everything will be going to discuss in the Scrum meeting. Who will participate in the Scrum meeting? The product owner, the Scrum master who will organize this Scrum meeting, the business analyst, the developers, the quality analyst, and the DevOps engineer. Sprint is nothing but Sprint is the time timeline, and once they had set the time limit for the project, they have the scrum meeting on daily. So in that scrum meeting, they will discuss what is going on, what has been done, any blocker means if any, because of any issue, the work has been stopped. So because of so and so issue, if because of any dependency, suppose if to develop, if to test the code, there is some license is required, because of license issue they are unable to perform the test, that may be blocker. So like that we can think. And retrospective meeting, the retrospective meeting is nothing but they just need to discuss what went bad, what went good, any improvement needed on the process. So in this meeting they will discuss like this. Okay. And in agile methodologies time frame, we will complete all the SDLC phases. Means in agile is in sprint meeting only, the all the SDLC phases has been completed. 2 weeks of sprint means 10 working days, 3 weeks of sprint means 15 working days, like that way, as we already discussed. So this is regarding SDLC process. So here majorly we just need to remember two things. The first one is sprint, that is nothing but the time frame, and the next one is scrum meeting. Scrum meeting or stand-up meeting, everything is same. It is just to discuss the things which is going on daily on regular basis. Okay, hope you guys understand about the SDLC lifecycle. Okay, we will meet up in the next session with the new topic. Thank you for joining the section. Signing off. Thank you. Bye bye.